What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
Imagine losing your father on the day of your birthday. This is the story of a young boy who lost his father, a heroic firefighter who died in the line of duty while trying to save 50 disabled students trapped in a burning school. His death brought an absence to the life of his son. What was meant to be a day of celebration turned out to be a day of mourning. But something unexpected happened as the story of the heroic firefighter reached the ears of the compassionate John Wick and Matrix movie star Keanu Reeves. Moved by his story, Keanu Reeves decided to do something for the young boy. What surprise could Keanu Reeves have in store for him? Join us as we unveil this inspiring story. The birthday party. Benjamin's house was filled with a lot of family and friends who had come to celebrate with Prince Benjamin on his 9th birthday. Prince was dressed in his favorite cartoon character, Ben 10. He and his friends played with the car trains his mum had given him. They took turns telling some funny stories and laughing at themselves as they began to chase each other around the house. But Prince soon got tired of the games and went to look for his mother, who was in the room on a phone call with his father. She motioned for him to come to say hello to his father, Benjamin David, a devoted firefighter with a heart of gold. Prince took the phone happily and asked his father when he was coming home. His birthday party was going to start soon. Benjamin promised his son he would be home soon. He just needed to round up some things in the office. He asked his son what he would like to have as a birthday present, and Prince asked his father for a rematch in the Mortal Kombat game. The last time he and his father had played the game, his father won, but Prince was hopeful of winning this time. Benjamin laughed and said they would have a rematch, but he added that he had a surprise for his son and asked that they switch to a video call. During the video call, Benjamin showed Prince a small hamster in a cage and told him that it was his birthday gift. Prince screamed out in joy. He was so happy. He had wanted a pet all along, and now he was going to get one once his father came home. Prince left the room with joy as he went to inform his friends about his new pet. But none of them knew that this would be the last time they would hear Benjamin David's voice. At the fire station, Benjamin checked the time. He had 20 more minutes to go home and join the birthday celebration. However, the sound of the alarm blaring suddenly made Benjamin jump up to his feet. It had been a long time since the alarm blared, and so he was alarmed and wondered what was going on as he and his colleagues heard the dispatch voice through the loudspeaker. There was a fire outbreak at the New York Institute for Special Education. It was an urgent situation that needed immediate action, as the school was a specialized institution for disabled children. All of the students had one physical challenge. It was either they were blind, deaf, dumb, or lame. Some of the students had more than one physical challenge, and all these put the students at a big risk of injury and death with the fire outbreak. The firefighters suited up and jumped into their trucks very quickly. Benjamin thought of his son's birthday as the siren of their trucks wailed and headed to the school. He took his phone and sent a message to his wife to inform her of the situation at hand, and that he may not be able to join them at the party, as he knew they were likely to take a long time to fix everything. Benjamin and his team all knew this was going to be one of the toughest rescues they'd ever face. But were they prepared for what lay ahead of them? Keep watching to find out. The rescue. As the firefighters arrived, they met the school staff, students, and some parents who stood outside watching as the school burned in flames. The school principal informed the firefighters that they still had students inside the building, and the firefighters acted immediately. Benjamin led the team inside the school premises. They walked carefully through the flames while some of the team worked on putting off the fire from outside. The firefighters regrouped themselves inside the burning school as they found the frightened students, most of them already crying and screaming out for help. The firefighters helped the children out of the fire and gave them spare masks to cover their faces and make them breathe more comfortably. However, there was still a lot of work to be done, as there were many students trapped inside the school, and the flames kept burning higher. They had to move very fast to get the students out. Benjamin left his team behind to run upstairs as he could see the fire moving fast. It was spreading, and he was scared of the possibility of one of the students being stuck on the top floor. He thought about his son at home and knew he had to do this fast and get home to them. Benjamin looked down from the balcony of the top floor and saw that everyone was evacuated from the building. He was about to go down and meet the rest of the team when he heard the faint voice of a boy singing and crying. Hearing the boy cry reminded him of his son. Benjamin froze where he was as he could see the fast spread of the fire. Benjamin's assistant screamed for him to come down. He knew he had to leave as the flames were going out of control. But was he going to ignore the voice he heard? Benjamin couldn't do that. Instead, he hummed out loudly and dashed into the flames as he followed the voice he heard, ignoring the fervent screams of his assistant. Benjamin could feel the heat penetrating his suit. The entire building was too hot, but he was determined to find the boy. He scanned the classes on the top floor again more carefully, and this time, he spotted the boy, sitting at the far end of a class, curled to himself and crying while singing. He was no older than his son at home. His name was Alfred. Benjamin screamed for Alfred to come, but the boy didn't move. He couldn't hear Benjamin. Benjamin ran to him and carried him in his hands as the boy held tightly to him, sobbing. Benjamin noticed the hearing aids in the boy's ears, but he doubted it worked as it looked broken. Alfred, feeling more relaxed, touched Benjamin's face through the mask. It became obvious that he was blind as his eyes were closed. Without wasting time, Benjamin removed his mask and placed it on Alfred's face. He didn't have any extra mask, but he didn't want the smoke to choke him. Benjamin thought about his family at home as he hummed a lullaby he usually sang to Prince, his son. He knew he had to leave here and go home to his son's birthday party. But first, he had to make it out of here alive. He looked around, and he saw the angry flames spread all around. He checked his pockets for his radio, but he didn't find it. He had left it in the truck. What was he going to do? He had to find an escape route fast, and the ground floor was no option as it burned mercilessly. Benjamin looked around as he shielded Alfred with his body. He struggled to see through the flames, but he walked into the flames as he had no idea on what to do next. Suddenly, he heard a loud crash. A part of the building had fallen. The building was collapsing. He had to be extra careful and act fast. Benjamin coughed out loud as the smoke filled his lungs. He was struggling to breathe, but kept moving, determined to leave here and go home. He kept looking for a class with a window, but most of the classes didn't have windows, as he was in the visually impaired learning section. Suddenly, he spotted a class with a window. Benjamin laid Alfred on the floor and grabbed a chair to break the window. But it wasn't as easy as he thought. The glass seemed impenetrable, but he didn't give up. Benjamin smashed the window with the chair and screamed out loud. Outside, his team saw him and quickly set up a ladder against the building. Benjamin went to Alfred and carried him towards the window, assuring him that everything was going to be all right. The crowds outside cheered out happily as they all saw Alfred and Benjamin at the third-floor window. Benjamin's team reached them and took Alfred down to safety, and just as Benjamin was about to come out of the window, the unexpected happened. Suddenly, the wall above Benjamin crumbled, taking Benjamin with him down to the floor. The onlookers screamed out loudly. What was happening? They all watched the school building collapse down to the floor. Buried within the crumbles of the school walls was Benjamin. Loud wails and screams filled the atmosphere. Benjamin David was dead. No student died in the fire outbreak, thanks to the heroic sacrifice of Benjamin, who died so that others could live. But he broke a promise made to his son to be there for his birthday. When the news of Benjamin's death reached his family, the birthday celebration came to an end and was replaced with mourning, as they couldn't believe what happened. Prince Benjamin was mostly affected as he became a shadow of himself, always keeping to himself in the room and not going out of the house. He missed his father. The story of Benjamin David spread like wildfire all over. People came to offer their condolences and support to the family. But who knew that this act of bravery was going to reach Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves was in town for a movie when he heard about the firefighter who had given his life for disabled students. He had heard some talks about the news, but he didn't know he was in the community where the heroic firefighter had lived. Learning more about the family, he decided to pay them a visit. Benjamin's widow was the one who answered the door. She was surprised to see him at her door, as she recognized him immediately as John Wick. What was he doing here? Keanu Reeves sat with her and Prince, and explained that he was there to encourage them and honor the good work of the late Benjamin David, who had died a hero in the line of duty. Keanu also shared his own experience of loss. He had also lost a loved one in the past, and it almost broke him. Keanu Reeves' presence uplifted them, and they appreciated him for coming. But Keanu wasn't going to leave like that. He did something unexpected. Reeves made a phone call to an event planner, determined to give Prince a proper birthday celebration, as his father would have wanted him to have. Benjamin's widow tried to stop him, but he insisted that he was doing it for Prince. His birthday was going to be a day for joy and not a day for mourning, as his father was the hero who saved lives. Keanu also made a promise to sponsor all of Prince Benjamin's birthday parties for as long as he was alive. But the best was yet to come, as Prince Benjamin was given a full scholarship up until university by the Keanu Reeves Foundation. A few weeks later, Keanu Reeves invited Prince and his mother to his mansion, and he asked Prince if he would like to star in the movie The Heroic Fireman, a story inspired by the heroic act of Benjamin David's sacrifice. However, in the movie, Benjamin David survived, becoming a celebrated hero. When the movie premiered, it was a huge success as it gained a lot of attention, and everyone who watched the movie was moved to tears by the story of the heroic fireman, Benjamin David, who saved the day. The movie premiere made over $100 million. Keanu Reeves asked Benjamin's family what they wanted to do with the money, as he had vowed to give them the money. Benjamin's widow suggested that the money should be used to start a foundation in honor of her late husband, to support the families of fallen heroes who died in the line of duty. Today, the Benjamin David Foundation stands in the U.S. as a foundation born out of the sacrifice of a firefighter and the support of Keanu Reeves. Before we round up, let's talk about Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves, a famous Canadian actor, musician, and movie producer born on September 2, 1965, is well known for his leading roles in action movies, science fiction, and comedy. He was brought up in Toronto, where he lived with his mother. As a teenager, he struggled with school, attending over 4 different high schools before leaving school and pursuing a career in acting. Reeves' first movie role was in 1984 in a comedy series titled Hangin' In, where he played a minor role as teen client in a single episode. Reeves kept acting in other movies, but he wasn't getting the recognition he deserved. But in 1989, he had his breakthrough with the comedy Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This brought him into the spotlight, and he started getting lots of movie roles. One of the top movies he acted in was The Matrix, where he played the role of Neo. This movie gained a lot of popularity and made Reeves a lot of money, as he became the highest-paid actor for a single production for continuing the role as Neo in all the Matrix sequels. Other well-known movies by Reeves include Devil's Advocate, Constantine, The Day the Earth Stood Still, Man of Tai Chi, John Wick, and many others. Aside from acting and music, Reeves created the BRZRKR comic book in 2021 alongside New York Times best-selling co-writer Matt Kint and acclaimed artist Ron Garney in a brutally violent new series about an immortal warrior's fight through the ages. Reeves is also a lover of motorcycles. He is the co-founder of the custom manufacturer Arch Motorcycle. And he is also the co-founder of the company Films alongside Stephen Hamill. Some of the movies they've made are Siberian and Man of Tai Chi. A unique thing about this Canadian actor that can't be ignored is his acts of kindness and generosity. Reeves has donated generously to numerous charities, like Camp Rainbow Gold, which helps children with cancer, and the Sick Kids Foundation, which supports the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto. He also has a foundation of his own called the Keanu Reeves Foundation, which provides support for children and protects them from harm. What do you think of Keanu Reeves' acts of kindness towards the family of the late firefighter? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you enjoyed watching the video, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click the next video on your screen, and you will enjoy it.